Hey there, Ryan Black Real Estate Investor here, and in today's quick investing tip, I want to talk to you about the importance of security measures in short-term rentals. Now, a lot of times, a lot of people are very interested in short-term rentals because they understand how much money you can make, but sometimes people tend to go on the cheap. Cheap in what they put in the kitchen, cheap on the furniture, cheap on the photography, cheap on everything, and that is not going to make you more money in the end, right? You're not rich enough to buy cheap things. Don't buy cheap things. But that's another video for another day. Today I'm talking about security and the importance of why you need security measures on your property. So some folks who have been doing short-term rentals for a while will say, look, I never have problems. My tenants, they check in on time, they check out on time, and it's simply something that I don't have to deal with. They don't throw parties, they don't do illegal activities, whatever that may be. I don't deal with any of that on my property, right? If they say they're going to register or they're going to bring four guests show up, and that's it. How do you know, right? You don't. Everyone has challenges that they deal with in short-term rental properties. You can't get away from that. But what you got to realize is if you don't have security measures in place, you have no way of knowing whether or not what is going on. And it's costing you money. So some of the things that you may want to consider are, of course, having connected smoke detectors, some type of smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector that will let you know if there is smoke in the house or if the smoke detectors have been tampered with. If you have a no smoking policy on your property and somebody tampers with the smoke detector, or if the smoke detector simply has an issue, you want to be able to let the fire department know about that as quickly as possible. And if your guests know that if there is a challenge with any of that equipment, that the proper authorities will be on their way within, a short period of time to make sure that they are safe, you're going to have a less likelihood of people breaking the rules. And when you have the rules, right, in place with, let's say if you have a $300 smoking fee. So no smoking allowed in the property or on the property. And if somebody breaks that rule, then they will have to be subject to that fee. If you are using one of the marketplaces, like Airbnb, for example, if you're using one of the marketplaces, they are going to want proof. In order for them to file that against the tenant, they're going to want proof. And so if you have proof, that's going to make your case better, so you'll be able to be reimbursed for those expenses that you have. If you have no proof, what are you going to do, right? So having connected smoke detectors, very important. Also having exterior cameras outside the property. Some people do the doorbell cam. You can also do the exterior, cameras that hang on the eave of the property to be able to see, because then you can track when are people arriving, when are they leaving, how many people. If they said they were going to have 2 people and then 10 people show up, then obviously you have a per person surcharge for everyone that stays there. You can let them know, hey, we're going to need to revise this because our contract is 2 people, you have 10 people, right? All that thing. If you don't know, and you are losing money. So it helps keep them honest. But the coolest thing is the way that you proposition it to them, to your tenants, is, look, for your safety and security, we have these different types of security measures implemented on the property for guest safety. And it's true. If there is a situation, if there is some type of a security situation, having those tools, having those things in place will be very, very valuable for you and for their protection. And so, it benefits them, but it also protects you as the owner or as the operator of that short-term rental. And so if somebody is thinking about doing illegal activities, that can kind of say, you know what, I don't want to go to the property where they're going to be monitoring what I'm bringing in the house or how many people are showing up, at what hours of the night. That will decrease the likelihood that will happen. It kind of helps filter them out. Another thing you can do is you can get a decibel sensor for inside the house, right? There are different types of motion detectors and things that you can put inside the house that also have decibel sensors. Now, this is really important because every state is different, but so that you need to check with your local laws of where your rentals are. But generally, having any type of recording device inside of the property is not allowed. Not allowed whatsoever. So you can't have, cameras or audio recording devices inside. That's an invasion of privacy. Outside, it's outside. You can have it outside. And you let them know that they're there so that they're on their best behavior. But inside, you can't have that. But what you can do at one of the decibel meters. So if, for example, they're throwing a big party and quiet hours are 10 p.m. and it's 11:30 and the decibel meter is going off the charts, you can look and see, hey, there are 15 cars outside the house, and you can let them know that they're, however you want to handle that, but you can let them know either their reservation has now been canceled and they need to evacuate the premises, or whatever you want to do. But if you don't have those things in place, how are you going to know? You're never going to know. So if you say, oh, it's expensive to buy the equipment, expensive for the monthly monitoring, you will make that back and more. And you will protect the integrity and the quality of your rental, right? It's not going to get trashed, because as soon as something starts happening, you will find out about it, and that will keep you protected. And once again, no recording devices indoors. We have a decibel sensor that just senses the level of volume, but it does not actually record anything. And also, you've got your motion detectors, right? So if they say, okay, we checked out, because we typically do self-check-in, self-checkout. We checked out, an hour later, there's still a bunch of movement going on in there. Well, that's a good idea that they're still there. Their car's parked outside and there's still movement. You know that they're still there. So don't be ignorant. If you're going to be an operator for short-term rentals, make sure that you have those things in place that will protect you as the operator, and also protect your guests, but also protect your bottom line to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of.